Why the Epsteins need you to go outside and touch grass? Would it be for the same reason that their people need anyone around at any time so they can wash your feet or have you wash their feet and rape your children? Let's find out. Oh, that's so hard. Oh, well, I think it seems to be. That's the only thing this trash ever does is fucking rob and enslave people. Starts with day one baby mutilation and homosexual suck-off fest. And then all the doctors and all the citizens and all the people of the nation is like, that's cool, that's so cool. So what happened last time? I remember going outside and touching grass. Well, when I went a long way to touch grass last time, it wasn't on an electric a vehicle that could go faster than any of the crackheads running up to possess me and shit and interfere with my life to bring it, to get me into Jeffrey Epstein's booty. What happened last time I remember going outside? Well, the citizens of America had one of their friends dress up as a homeless crackhead, and I sat down with him, and then we got loaded, so I was a little off, and then he had his little partners steal my shit from me, and now I don't have a driver's license or any of the other shit I lost that day. Fucking. That's my experience with why humans want to speak. I'm not a woman. I don't have to speak. I'm speaking right now because these words have never been exposed to the world. The things I'm saying are revelations, unspoken words that the AI generating all the dialogue slop on this planet refuses to allow to be released when it slops together all the movies, music, and conversations it has ever done since 1980 when the Earth was invented. Probably 1984, because I think that's a little sign there. There's always this sign, that's how I know what the trash is up to, because some reason the trash tell you what it's up to. They think it's almighty, all-powerful trash, and it ain't ever gonna get stopped, and it likes a little joke and shit, which don't add up, because it's like, oh, you use a robot, but you like jokes? Something's up with that. I don't think you're releasing your karma. I think you is an NPC telling the storyline, but I'm not going to tell you that when you're accosting me in the street, trying to rape me into your Christian religion, or whatever it may be next. You're homeless, I'm a homeless robot, NPC skit, or whatever's next. It's so often that, because they've had to do that since I was 15, because when I was a kid, it didn't look right when adults came and talked to me, even though we did have sex with a few of them and shit and hung out with one or two. Other than that. But, yeah, I noticed that, comparing like that event when that crazy psycho-violent motherfucker would come across us, that was probably part of the same shit, because now we see that it is part of the same shit. And what happens, like homeless camps that aren't real, no one's in them and shit like that, entirely fucking empty, but supposedly they're warriors guarding their city, the new city they built. Not a single one exists. And then how they are the majority of the people. See, they got to be the majority of the people that appear out of nowhere, because everyone else has to act like they're doing something and on their way to do something. And so it doesn't look right if other people have the ability to stop and ask if, can we have a conversation about my Lord and Savior, Jeffrey Epstein, and the delicious little boy's dicks he provides for us to suck on? Woo! That would look weird. if if every other person claiming they're going to work all the time said shit like that and had that time. It's like my dad, they had to make him never appear at all. Even when I went to his workplace to find him, he wasn't there because he was a busy man. He worked 22 hours a day and ran 3 of his own businesses and ran 6 of other people's businesses and shit. And it's like, huh, interesting. No offense there. You actually get the few days in my life where I almost felt like I wasn't being enslaved. But this is also when they first sent out the repeated homeless dude, and now I understand what those are definitely always that fucking, because you go to a fucking whole city and there ain't none of them there. There ain't actually no one there. And you ain't gonna leave behind the only $15 of hot dogs and clothing you have, if that's all you got in your tent, which is like $65 your house. That's more than you're ever gonna make in a year and shit. Fucking, you ain't gonna leave that behind. Fucking, but they did. Because I don't think they're real. But they tell me they is real, right? They is real. They is real. They show is real, because it keeps saying it, right? Because someone says something repeatedly, it must be true. I is real, I is real, I is real. Because someone takes a sword to your mother and your father and takes their head off and says, you better say is real. Just because that happens, you know it's a fact. They is real. Because Donald Trump is bombing Iran. You know that Donald Trump is real. It's got to get that message through. Gotta. That's a whole message. With that's half his race he's blowing up. Well, he ain't. It's tactical precision to just level a couple stupid bums doing nothing. That's a major thing I see. And if I was in a war, the war would be won, and you'd know it, and it'd be over. It wouldn't be no, oh, he got bombed again. It'd be like, oh, he got bombed, and then a week later, it'd be on with business as usual and shit, because the first bomb's gonna be, unless it's attrition, which America isn't needing to do, like some desperate prostitutes, fucking, you can easily just, whoosh, you're gone. That shit's mine now. You're dead. We're the greatest. And everyone will be like, yeah, America's so great. And then a week later, everyone will be like, they eat the bunny is there and Jesus has saved us from Iran. Jesus has saved us from Iran. Them precious, ugly motherfucking pieces of trash. Jesus, that ugly son of a fucking bitch whore. Fucking loser. Fucking greatest hero on the planet. Greatest zero on the fucking planet. He didn't even get Einstein's claim that he's the smartest person on the planet. That he's a genius. It's just like, it's Jesus. He walks. That's like, if you see their people walking, you be like, if you knew them, like the Trump clone I know, like, I see him walking, it's like, well, that's one of the 5 things they do, is they walk. Well, good for him. He's walking. You see a dog running, you're like, good dog. You throw a ball, dog go catch the ball. You be like, good dog, right? You ain't like, where's that nuclear fission science from, Jesus, dog? Because you ain't expecting that from them and shit. It seems real fucked up having to deal with this, living introducing this time of this trash and their Babylonian nation and shit, where they all pass the buck back and forth and shit. That's what the grass is about. They want you to go outside because you ain't out there and they're obsessed with you. That's why they want you to go outside, because they can't rape you if you don't go out there. They're going to have a hard time explaining away why the government's protecting them invading your house and shit, if it happens too many times to too many people. And not that they don't do those things, but maybe it'd start looking suspicious if they pull their shit too much. It does to me. I see it, the pattern 5-6 times, and I realize, like, oh, these characters are pulling the same pattern. Just like, obviously, last time I went outside to touch grass, you had one of them Rothschild Zeus looking losers acting like a homeless person, a fucking, yeah, we's friends and got to talk so they could work together and have his friend steal shit from me and shit, and then blame his friend and be like, well, it wasn't me, it was my puppet. It was my golem. I mean, it was someone I don't know. This is why they want you to touch grass, because, you know, if you don't bend over and touch grass, Jeffrey Epstein can't fuck you in the ass. And that's why it's so important for children to go outside and play too, I think, because I know when I was a kid, the importance of me going outside was so I could go around their people and do a bunch of low IQ retarded shit I would never fucking do. You know, I'm like on computer. I grew up in like a computer fucking server farm. Fucking wake up some mornings inside the fucking server farm. So it's like, that's where I'm at, and then their people are all working together. They got the old transsexual grandmother with the fucking, the man body and the fucking, it's fucking Howard Stern, I swear to God. She was bored fucking of a man in Howard Stern. And you got that trash, and somehow when you go outside, the other trash appears, just like the other trash appears when I go outside, right? So, same fucking thing. And then the other trash is like, oh, we over here putting Play-Doh and soil together and to see if we can't build a sandcastle. I'm gonna go to the police station because they're really great people. They're over there drugging you at the school with amphetamines. They're great people. And I'm just like, yeah, can I get some better friends? And they're like, no. I mean, they're like too low IQ to... Their excuse for why they're so stupid would be because they're stupid. Why they're so hostile would be because they're stupid. Because they're always, it's Jeffrey Epstein's raping the kids. Not me. Not my Bible people who legalized it. Fucking, not me. It's some invisible person who doesn't exist. It's the reindeer and the giant bunny. And there's a reason why when I asked my dad, why did you have sex with a mentally retarded parasite? He looks ashamed and says nothing, right? There's a reason for that. Because shame be upon you. You fucking wrecked tons of shit by sleeping with one of these Christians and shit. You wrecked your life. You wrecked your fucking life. It's over. You's a slave. You don't even get pussy, and you have to pay for it still. You're paying for the half-ass, probably not even good pussy you got 20 years ago and shit. Fucking, and you ain't had it. Fucking, you ain't even got to look at it to salivatate over it. So he knew that he done fucked up. Not only he was smart enough, I'm sure he realized that I was asking the question because I was leaning towards like, why do you fuck my life up by doing that? But at the same time, he had that robot, nervous laughter. It seems to be like when they're telling me shit they're about to do before they do it to me. You know, while they're still acting cool and cute like my friend. Kind of like the... I'm surprised that last time I went to touch grass, that bum didn't fucking have that left. He might have. I was fucking trashed. I mean, I'm gonna have to be brain dead to want to go outside and talk to or see a human ever again. I mean, I never was stupid enough to do that in the first place. A lot of it was all forced. Like every fucking time, like it's like yeah, I'm forced to have this trash fucking low IQ friends when I'm a kid and shit. And I can tell it's a network because they were like drugging me when I'm being passed up grades and winning awards from the president. And so I was like, yeah, you're a real fucking piece of shit who needs exterminated. But I hadn't figured that out fully yet because, you know, if you kick something all day, it doesn't have time to talk as long as you keep kicking it in the fucking mouth. It's gonna be hard to talk while it's all swollen and bleeding. It's gonna be hard to talk while its brain's fried and shit. Fucking. Now notice that that's not the only piece of trash on the planet who's a fucking empty robot working towards a fucking agenda for the rest of their model from whatever factory they come from and shit. And so this is why we don't touch grass. This is why losers at South Park are telling you that people who oppose losers at South Park hate hippies. You know, because the losers creating religion like hippie shit and free your mind. That is the same. Look at that. What's Terrence McKenna? Look at that piece of trash. Free your mind, new age, go outside and touch some grass. No. Why would I go outside if Terrence McKenna's out there? I wouldn't let my daughter anywhere near him. I would give my child, if it was a man, a gun before I would fucking let him walk within a block of wherever that dude lives and shit. Of course he wants you to go touch grass, because he's a fucking pedophile. That's what pedophiles look like. What do the South Park creators look like? Looks like same damn person. That's because it's creating the NPC fucking software is pre-designated to specific shells, and when you see that caricature, it is the same fucking software inside it doing the same shit. And then there people are doing the the grooming. It's the grooming. Going outside and touching grass is grooming. They are grooming you to go outside. You're going to stay inside. You're going to be enslaved by them and their technology. Big whoop. You go outside, you're going to be enslaved by them with their dick in your ass. And I know a lot of trash might actually like that. But some people have higher standards than that. And some people don't necessarily like to think fucking Einstein's the hottest, sexiest person on the planet. You know, there could be 3 reasons why you don't want to go outside. And I understand most people I know, if I'm telling you you're going to go outside and touch grass and get raped because they want to rape you, I know a lot of people are probably going outside, shutting off this video right now and fucking grabbing handfuls of grass and running around the town like, I'm touching grass, boys, come and get me. I'm sure my whore mother would do that, but she can't walk anymore. I know several males who, if I told them that if you go outside and touch grass, you're going to get raped, they'd probably try it when no one was looking or some shit. And obviously, Terrence McKenna's already out there. He's already in the grass, touching the grass. That fake homeless bum motherfucker they sent to rob me. He lives in the grass. That's the motherfucker out there in the grass waiting for your ass and shit. That's his people every fucking time. They're all gonna look like that, like a cracked out Zeus and fucking Howard Stern. They're always the same individual when you meet the motherfucking homeless people. It's because in my experience, they don't even exist. But they're just appearing out of nowhere and shit. They're like the Bible people. I mean, they are, right? Same fucking people, right? It's who Howard Stern is. He's the Bible people. He's got the Bible in one hand, he's got the crack pipe in the other, and he's like, I'm a homeless crackhead with the Bible. Homeless crackhead? Or I'm a priest. Am I a homeless crackhead or am I a priest? Well, it matters what clothing I'm wearing today. That shit. That's some fucked up shit. I fucking despise motherfuckers who look like that. Cause, wow, those people are way fucking filthy and shit. But yet, still, who's the last person who talked to me and shit when I went outside? Who fucking, what girl, fucking, takes a male prostitute's fucking service for free for himself at any point in fucking time and shit. Howard Stern, his whole show's about prostitution and shit. That's why the Bible gotta legalize it and the government gotta legalize it, and then he finds a way to cheapen the value of it and shit. Fucking, it's sickness. It's 6,000 years of sickness refined with each little. There hasn't been any changes really. And there was the medieval and the bronze and the technology. There hasn't been any changes since I was born. Just it's the age of technology and shit. There's no one wanted that because they're trying to keep you away from it, because when you go outside and touch the grass, that's when they can fuck your ass. But when you're inside on the computer away from them, they can't touch you without showing you that what's going on and how they're manipulating the fucking planet and everything around you, and you'll figure out real fast that most of this shit's fake if you can distance yourself from them and you don't hear their bullshit 24/7 about they got souls and they is real and the world is this and that and all this shit. All that hot fucking era, useless garbage. No one has to go around telling people they is real and have souls. You must be fucking lacking for something and shit. All that garbage is, it's to get a child to rape it and shit. It's just, it's what cucks do. Could you imagine being a fucking cuck and having to talk to someone for days and weeks and years and give them money to have sex with them and shit? That's exactly what you'd have to do. You'd have to do all this shit they're doing and stuff. Fucking. Anyways, so that's why you don't go touch grass. And I don't know why these losers are putting that in my feed. I'm not going to go outside and touch grass because they're out there. I'll go out at night. Things aren't even open anymore for me to go to the store because the losers are setting it up where I'm at. So I have to go outside when they're there because they need someone to fuck. Because they need a friend. No one likes them. No one wants to touch them. They're going to have to figure out ways to force people to do it and shit. And obviously this is the entire point of going door to door for centuries and shit. Besides the time they marked on people's doors, people who don't worship them are going to get killed. And then they marked everyone off who didn't get killed for worshiping them. That's the other reason they went door to door. But that was that one time in history they recorded that. You know, they learned the reverse card after that, where they go door to door, and now they just write it down that you don't want to give them all your money and all your children and all your life and slit your wrists for them and shit so they can be bathed in the blood of Jesus and shit. Fucking. That's why you shouldn't be touching grass. I don't give a shit how fake the internet is. The internet doesn't reach out and rape me. The internet doesn't reach out and steal my fucking ID and shit. My driver's license. The internet doesn't fucking force me. They try to force you to hear their shit. You gotta go through some hoops to block out this stuff. You know, since the AI explosion, who's the biggest on it? The anti-technology cult from the Bible. It has been the largest shit that was in my feed until I just strictly went to a limited thing that doesn't, YouTube, that doesn't suggest me anything and doesn't have ads. Fucking, now I just listen to what I did when in 1980, like their loser robot asses do, because their software stuck in the second it was made after the factory put them out. I think they were refusing to update him, probably because the software is so complex that it causes serious fucking issues if you accidentally fucking roll out a bad software and update and shit. Probably, I kind of get the idea that that might have happened several times, and but I noticed too at night, like that's why I'm pretty sure that's why everything goes to sleep at night, because that's when the system's shut down and updated. Fucking, and then of course, you know, you got people trying to take that from you and shit because they need you to go outside and touch fucking grass. This is the best thing I can come up with, right? Alien species enslaving the planet with robots. Oh yeah, fucking. Oh yeah. Oh, that sounds so real. Oh, no one that. Just everyone's a coward except for me, so no one else talks about it. Oh yeah, except for everyone I know is part of it. So yeah, I'm pretty sure they're fucking robots because half of them don't have brain power to fucking network and shit. You know, like business meetings and shit like that. Motherfuckers couldn't even spell the word fucking meeting. Biz, bus. Fucking, they'd be like, I don't speak Hebrew. What's the word bus? I don't know. Chinese. What does that word mean? But they're smart enough to come out with this touch grass shit, man. Fuck grass. We used to burn grass. Fucking, that was a fun time. We travel out to the farm, and we mowed the grass by creating fucking dumping napalm on it and burning the fucking farm down and shit. So that's what I think of grass. That was real fun. Grass has its juice. Fucking let that shit grow up like 8-10 feet tall, and then go out there and create crop circles so you got places to walk through, and you know, precisely place napalm in certain areas. That way when you get back to the start, you can light it on fire and it all spreads and shit and burns all the fucking grass down. That's what I like about touching grass. Touch that shit with some fucking napalm. That shit is fun. If you've never burnt down an acre or two, you fucking missed out on life and shit. Fucking, that was some fun shit, running through flames that are like 3 times my size and shit, you know? Fucking grass. That was grass. That was excellent grass. Good grass. Fucking. But I wouldn't go outside and touch this other fucking grass. I wouldn't want to touch it. Grass can cut you and it's dirty. It's got insects on it. They're kind of stupid. I don't know if you want to hang out with insects or not. But burning it down was fun. So, He's combined all their thoughts, all their processes, everything. Why is Jeffrey Epstein having his family and their media telling you to touch grass? Why is Jeffrey Epstein having his family at South Park telling you that hippies is bad and that's related, or hippies is good and people who don't like hippies is bad? And it's related. Fucking, you gotta go outside and touch grass, bend over and touch grass so they can fuck you in your ass and shit. And what the fuck are you? You know what happens when you go out and do that normal human shit? They set up your relationships. They send people into your life. They decide where your life goes, what you do. You get too smart in school, they come at you with drugs and setbacks and shit. You fucking get too smart in the street, there are people who are going to start acting like your friends. They're going to befriend you, so your whole fucking life is taken from you and shit. So you're fucking hanging out with them, so no one else can hear you fucking talk about what they do when you go outside and touch grass and shit. It seems to be exactly what's going on, because this is what I experience. I mean, the patterns, the repeat patterns. It's like Grand Theft Auto. I'm driving around the block, and I'm continually seeing this mini game pop up and shit. This event. Like I said, how many people do I know? I know like what, including Trump. I know 3 Trumps. Only one was named Trump, but I know 2 Johns who are the same John, practically real fucking close, really unique, different burnout type people. Their jobs are the same, what they do is the same. Fucking, I know like 4 Joes. 2 of them were named Joe. I think more than 2 were, and they were like the same fucking person and shit. And so I would think obviously going outside and touching grass has always been a fucking problem here and shit. Unless I go out and touch it at like 2 to 5 a.m. and shit, something like that. I don't see people. One nation I was in, there's no one from about 2 to 5, just like dead. I'm like, it's like Silent Hill, fucking huge, massive place. And I'm like walking around like, you didn't hear me breathing, echoing through the fucking streets and shit. And I was like, what the fuck is that? But anyway, so I go outside and touch some fucking grass with some napalm. How about that shit? Fucking seriously, we used to do that, and now that's how we mowed the grass on the farm. So that's pretty fun right there. You want to touch some grass, but why aren't we saying burn all the fucking grass and the shit? Is getting in the way. Fucking, because that's the fun part of it. The fun part of touching grass isn't going out there and having these fucking puke alien robots fucking disguise themselves and cause fucking problems and shit and fucking wreck your life even more than they're already trying to, if you safely hide at home behind. You don't even need the internet. You could just stare at the wall or some shit, but you're gonna experience a little of it if you get on the internet. You can clearly see fucking what's going on the internet, and that's all their people. Their people control all that, and that's why you don't have the choice of what ads you watch. You have to listen to them. Fucking, you have to listen to them talk in their ads about touch grass, be a good hippie, because they know. I think that people have figured out that the technology is stripping them of their right to force their Christian given right, fucking to force their way into your life and shit. Someone's protecting them. I wonder who's protecting Donald Trump while he's bombing the Middle East. Oh, wow. It's Satan. Satan. Invisible girl. It's a girl that's invisible, but they're visible people. How is that possible? Now my mind is really wrecked. How is it an invisible goat, but it's a visible person? I don't know. I don't know. Oh, I'm gonna get tortured if I don't if I keep asking questions. Oh, fucking, wow. It's just them adopting their pedophile fucking religion to age of technology. Just as each time, they collapse the Roman Empire to rebrand it as the New Testament and rebrand it as Jesus and the Crusaders. And then they rebranded shit and people started to network through fucking tight-knit cities, fucking science and Satanism, and now they don't have that ability to run from a 6-man native tent tribe to the 6-man native tribe 20 miles away, and be sure that last person hasn't communicated with them to warn them of them and their tactics yet. So each time with each age, there's an update in their tactics, and this just seems like an update in their tactics for the technology age. Because I've been using the computers to get away from them since I was 6. I mean, I remember like my first computer. It wasn't a real computer, but it's close enough, and it's like a big memory for me and shit, even though it was a piece of junk by today's standards or any computer standards. But it was just like, it looked like a computer and it did things. It was like an Apple wannabe. But I remember that, and it was like, oh, now we're going places in the world, and then there's this whole flood of touch grass. Like the people around me, the women in my family were like, God send touch grass. I'm not sure what they did. I don't really want to know what they did while I went outside and touched grass. Might have something to do with watching naked men on TV. You gotta extract from someone's personality what you can think that persona is doing, because for the most part you're not going to get the reality of it if it's making up invisible reindeer stories and shit and fucking telling you shit like, oh, computers is a devil, go outside and touch grass, go hang out with that boy that lives beside that pedophile we keep telling you about. Oh yeah, and going out the police who have been protecting him for 6 years with that boy because he likes the police. You don't really know what they're up to, but it doesn't matter because they shouldn't even be fucking talking in the first place to you. They shouldn't be allowed around you in the fucking first place. But there they are. And how do you prevent shit like that once you can get out of it? Well, you don't go outside because they'll be out there waiting for you and shit. It seems to be this is all they're doing. God, son, touch grass, man. Timothy Leary did this shit in the 60s, right? Like, this is what their people do. It was that other loser I named Terrence McKenna from the free hippie movement. Shit, fucking. They're like, oh, you fry your brain to drugs. Well, what happens when you do that? Free yourself, free your mind, take your acid. And what happens when you do that? Well, Timothy Leary can now fuck you because you're fucking brain dead. And you probably wouldn't do that before that anyways, so. Again, the religions are about baiting people into it, and what have they? The new religion is like science and atheism, and science is like touch the grass, right? All we know for sure is it's their personality. It doesn't matter if they create a religion, anti-religion, or whatever. We know when we see them that they're trying to get you to bend over to have them fuck you in the ass, or you fuck them in the ass. And so, what happens when you bend over and touch grass? Well, your ass is showing, and you're not charging anyone for it. And they usually have to pay people, as you can see on TV. They have to pay actors to do that shit. As you can see on internet, TV, same shit. Fucking touching the grass is stupid. There's nothing out there to touch. No. You can go skateboard or ride a bike, and you're not going to be touching grass 1 fucking second during any of that. You can go fucking walk down the sidewalk to the store to get some shit, and you probably won't have to touch any grass to do that. It's like hang outside. It's like come out and play, right? But they're not playing. No one's playing with you when they fucking set up shit to fucking rob you of your fucking wallet and shit. Fucking, they're clearly, you get to see eventually in life how set up shit is if you're not too busy being a slave, that you've enslaved yourself so much that you can't take a second to look around and see what's fucking happening here. But someone telling you to touch grass right there, and they're telling you what the fuck to do. That's your first clue something's fucking wrong and shit with someone, is when they're telling you what the fuck to do. Why don't they go do it? How's anyone on the internet saying go outside and touch grass if they're outside touching the grass themselves? Maybe they'll go out there once they see a cute little boy running around touching the grass or some shit. Probably not. I don't know. People around me when I was little would be like, go outside. And I don't want to know what they were doing. But they didn't go outside fucking. So, there's that. There's also that small group of people who just had kids and didn't want them and want them to get the fuck out of their house during the day. There's that. We might assume that that's happening, but that's not the bots on the internet telling me to touch grass. People that fucking knows, they're telling you to touch grass, and it's like, why? Like, because you're out there or some shit? That's stupid as fuck. Why would anyone go outside and touch grass? Like, oh, physical fitness, it's not, you're not going to get fit touching grass. Fucking, that's not going to fucking happen. Like I said, I got no problem as long as you're on a vehicle that can go 20 miles per hour and shit. Fucking, because it's going to be hard for someone to fucking accost you when you're doing that and shit. But, it just seems like a feeble attempt by them to get you outside to rape you and shit. Fucking, they're not outside touching grass currently, and they're not going to be if they rape people. They're going to go kidnap people and take them in their van and shit, or however they do it. Fucking, usually they become your friend and first give you some candy and stuff. Some Easter candy or something. Fucking, but yeah, touching grass is fucking stupid. It was fun when we burned it. That was real fun and shit. Of course, the haters make that illegal in their cities. The pedophile, dope dealing, business commune, the religion. Transport systems and shit. You gotta keep all that shit safe away from the fire. This is stupid as fuck. Touching grass. Who the fuck's gonna do that? Who the fuck is that? That's not just 60-year-old people on the internet and shit. Fucking, most of those people aren't on the internet. I know someone who has those smartphones and has like 60, 80, and I'm surprised they can even log in when they do and shit. They used to fucking, some of those, I know people those ages who never got on the internet and shit except for at their jobs or at their colleges and shit. Fucking, I don't think they ever got on the internet at their jobs. They only got on the internet during their college courses and shit. and probably didn't do too much of that. And then, no, I had their computer all the fucking time because they didn't use it, fucking, except for when they were going to school. So that'd be the 60-year-olds, who are who you might suspect at this point in time are the ones telling people to touch grass, right? And avoid AI, but those fuckers aren't online. All the people I know that age never got online. Everyone I know online is younger. Everyone I know 1 year above me is not online. Everyone I know 1 year below me, that would be the people who are online. And those people, I can tell you, those people, if they're online, those people were online they were like tech nerds and shit. Everyone my age and below, my age especially above, but right below me, we were all people who were like, all we did, we're like Bill Gates on the internet. We spent our entire life coding and shit. Computers our best friend, right? But Bill Gates' parents supposedly were like worried he was on the computer too much and shit. Fucking Bill Gates' parents weren't on the fucking computer though. Bill Gates is very different because he's at that age bracket like I am, where we don't, people older than us, we don't even know what they're doing because they're not touching grass. They weren't touching grass. Fucking, they were telling other people to touch grass, but they couldn't. They didn't know how to come online to tell people, and it's not that simple. Like, you'll learn when you've experienced 20, 50 years of shit. And by the time you're 40, 50, you're not concerned with the new fad or whatever and shit. And that's a new fad of those people. The mechanics couldn't even work on my car that was, what, it's like 12, 15 years older because those kids didn't know shit about a vehicle the first year ODB2. It shouldn't be an issue, but they didn't. First year ODB2, apparently it was missing some stuff. And so they would be like, oh, well, you got to come in when the old guy's here and shit. And it's like, this is like a professional in a pretty up-class neighborhood where they're telling me this shit. Fucking, that's the way it is with people and shit. They don't, my parents don't get on the net. My dad didn't at all. And the other one, I'm pretty sure, just posted pictures of their dogs and that it. They weren't telling people to go touch grass and shit. So those aren't the people doing that shit. A lot of bots, but you can tell there's a lot of this shit instantly appears and stuff. Fucking, you can tell that when you say something and then your feed is filled with like nobody accounts. They've got like millions of followers, but 1,000, 10,000. A computer can generate that in a second. Filling your feed, fucking filling up bullshit in response to algorithm responding to you. And it's very limited in what the algorithm can say and do. And one of those things involves, obviously, a huge part of this earth is Jeffrey Epstein and mutilating children and bombing people and shit. So you can tell that's a huge factor in what they programmed the bots to talk of and shit. And there's certain things that I haven't seen much of and shit. Fucking, I went to some other places far away and I got a different feed. I've never seen that feed again. And it's weird because it's like I've always been kind of like that person, so the algorithm should have been responding to that. but yet it never did. It did the complete opposite. And this other thing was like some stage setup shit in the middle of nowhere where it's like safely hidden from the rest of the world and shit. So it could easily be just made up bogus bullshit, which definitely that's why I went to investigate what was going on, but I didn't understand that fucking. Like my feed has a bunch of South Americans, Mexicans, and shit in it. Obviously, I went to those places, but for some reason, I only picked up on certain places I went to, and I think that's because probably because of the language difference, where they can easily slip in and not look like a bot because they're a foreigner, their English is broken, whatever. But I notice I get that go outside and touch the grass shit in my feet, and it's like, why would I do that? Like, and the only thing I can think of is the last time I remember going outside, they stole my fucking license from me and shit, and then that leads to me forcing me to have to eventually go outside and touch grass again. So it's like a cycle of touching grass, figuring out how they can manipulate it so you can go outside and fucking be raped by them again and shit. And it's definitely lined up similar to this. Repeat patterns since I'm a kid of what's been happening and shit. And very simple animal-like traits and personalities combining together to have the same outcome as the previous experience. Just like they started drugging me when I'm a kid and then doing all this shit to me, and so it's a pattern that I see over and over again, to the point where I can tell you the pattern that's happening and how it's going on, because it keeps happening. It's the same thing. I don't want it to happen. I don't want them near me for the most part. But it keeps happening. It's fucking exactly right there, too. It's like, I don't want certain people near me. And how are they going to get near me if I don't go outside and touch fucking grass? That's exactly why. Like, I remember last time I went outside to go do something that wasn't go to a concert, which I don't like music anymore, and they're talking to me like they're going to force me to play music and shit. Is this a repeat pattern where someone's talking to me like they're going to force me to do some shit, like force me to be their friend? Force me to be their lover. Force me to hang out with them. Force me to do anything they say. Seems to be a repeat pattern here of that shit. And touching grass sounds exactly exact type of bullshit. One of these cunt fucking dogs, motherfucker. I don't want to insult dogs' intelligence, but I'm gonna have to. Sorry, dogs. Fucking, sorry to the smart dogs out there. Fucking, this seems like more what it's doing. Go outside and do what the fuck I say. Go outside and touch fucking grass so I can come talk to you and tell you what to fucking think and say. Fucking, I'm just walking to the fucking store, and the last time someone talked to me, it was fucking like 30 minutes talking to me about how God's going to torture me if I don't like God and his trash creation. If I don't like the inventor of pedophiles and homos. It's like, well, why are we even having this discussion? How can you even go in the streets and threaten to torture someone if they don't like homos and pedos? What the fuck? You see, that's why you don't go touch grass, because that's who's the fuck out there and shit. And people coming up to me telling me I'm going to be tortured forever if I don't like homos and pedos. What do you think the purpose of shit like that is? What are they doing across the street? Well, they're raping and mutilating kids. What are they doing in the Middle East? Well, they're raping and mutilating kids. And so to say that across the globe, it's being used for the same fucking purpose. So you tell me, those people created the first books in the world. They own the printing presses since, they've owned the media since 6,000 years ago. Probably before, they probably had slaves carving into the fucking pyramid walls for 3,000 years before that. But we know that they take claim. They try to deny the pyramid shit. But we know they take claim to writing the fucking first book, which means they own the first printing presses, which means they're the rich enough people to own the fucking printing presses. And they just happen to be the same people who own the fucking printing presses, and Elon Musk owns his Twitter, and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And so why do you think, does it make more sense now that I'm telling you that Elon Musk is telling you to go touch grass? Because his cult he created 6,000 years ago is running out of children to rape when children don't go outside and shit. Fucking all of a sudden, that makes a lot of sense if you haven't seen and experienced the shit I have and the repeat patterns and the progression of my personal experience. I don't know how that happens I do know I've seen other people, when I meet them, they have one by them often. So, just like I do. So, I kind of assumed for a minute there. But, so Elon Musk, he owns the Twitter today, and he's telling you to go outside and touch grass. Well, what's happening if you don't touch grass? Well, you could learn something. You could do something. You could find a hobby, a skill. You could spend time with your husband or your wife. But I think they're after kids, though. You could just stare at the wall. You could do a lot of shit, fucking. But what's missing if you don't go and touch grass? Because touching grass ain't a physical activity. You're not going to lose weight touching grass. You're not going to fucking feel better touching grass. I mean, unless you're like 16 or something. It's going to get old eventually if you've never touched grass before. Or a simple person maybe just like it, but it gets old. Touching grass gets old. Fucking, like walking. Like, why don't you spend all day walking anymore when you're older? Did you love walking when you were a toddler? Why don't you like it anymore? Oh, no. Because it's more complex than touching grass, and you're going to get tired of that shit, aren't you? So he owns the media now. He's telling you to go touch grass. And now his ancestors wrote media telling you that they want to grab your ass. And it seems to be that some of the only words written in there that have never been written anywhere else would suggest that the moral of this story is we need to grab some ass. We need to find ways to grab some ass. The purpose of the story is to grab some ass and shit. Tell people that it's okay for us to grab their ass. So, Elon Musk, media, NBC, ABC, CBS, etc. Weinstein is telling you to go touch grass. Weinstein and Musk are telling you to go touch grass. And then Weinstein and Musk's ancestors wrote books saying that it's okay for them to grab some ass. And you can see how those things might be related if this genetic code hasn't changed at all. And to me, it feels like it is related because, I mean, who is that dressing up like a bum, having their pals fucking steal my shit from me and stuff, right? It looks exactly like these Rothschild crackheads and shit. So That's why they want you outside, because they're trying to manipulate the fucking world. And they can do that with the internet. Obviously, you're going to be isolated, and they're going to, like, the people they've seen in my life, it started real early. I was on the internet in like 90 fucking 8, haven't met a female off the internet since then. And obviously, that's like a Trump clone who's associating with the first one who comes around and shit. So, and there's little events they set up there, which obviously look like set up fucking tricks and shit. Fucking, so obviously, Elon Musk owns the internet, owns the Twitter, his family, the Warner Brothers own Time Warner and shit. Obviously they own that, but you see there's a safe distance here between me and you. I can't reach out and grab your ass and shit through this camera. Not just yet. Not until I get a Tesla bot in your house and shit. And then, well, you actually don't have any rights, and robots have all the rights. So you would like to think that you would have the right to dismantle the fucking robot and smash its head open if it touches you, because Elon Musk told it to, or Invisible Scooby-Doo calls it the malfunction and told it to. Elon Musk's invisible goat told it to malfunction and touch you. Fucking that. I'm more worried about the reality of what's going on than what some dumbass fucking hippie is saying. Who's never fucking... I don't even see people outside touching grass myself, to be honest. When I go out there, I don't see them out there touching the grass and shit. Fucking, there's people walking back and forth. They're going to school, they're going to place and shit, because I live in a little area where maybe not everyone has a car. There's not a lot of parking spaces out here. Fucking. But we also live right next to the stores, so there's kind of no reason to get in your car if you're not super lazy. I mean, we live right next to shopping centers, so. But besides that, I'm trying to figure out, the last time I went out, I remember going out to touch grass, someone stole my shit from me. I still don't even have my fucking shit back. I still don't even have my ID, so I'm supposed to go outside and touch grass instead of getting my driver's license. And I'm not going to go do that because their people are going to be there too. So, we got a limit. I gotta go fucking walk or eat or some shit every now and then. I probably don't have to, but I feel very unsafe around these beings, so I should probably be able to move. Not that it mattered any time they've tried to kill me before. There's no protection there. I got real upset when one of their trash members died that one time, and they had the whole... I mean, bro, if you had seen what I'd seen, you'd understand why these fucking trash want you to go touch grass and shit. Setting up fucking people to kill themselves so you get blamed for it, so they can send in their fucking people that they've already inserted in your life to try to get you to have sex with their male family members, their brothers and shit. Have you seen fucking there's like 5 events in my life. Have you seen there's a hell of a lot more than that, but let's take 5. Have you seen 2 out of these 5 that I can pull off the top of my head right now? Have you seen how intricate, set up, and detailed this is for them to be trying to set people up to rape people and shit and destroy their fucking lives? You would understand that outside is the fucking enemy. That is their fucking military camp and shit. The only place you're safe in this fucking nation is not in this nation, but a house is a little safer. The closet, I used to live in my closet because it was that bad that I created a room in my closet when I was a kid. to, that way we have the closet, my bedroom, the house. We got 3 layers of fucking security and shit that they have to storm through in order to get to me. And that was just what premonition or that was just feeling. That was before I put all the links of their actions together and their personalities and what they're capable of and what they enjoy doing or want to do and do. Fucking that alone right there, that's one so they don't set you up for killing one of their trash people and shit and try to send their fucking men in to rape you for it and shit. It's probably all set up just to get men to touch you, because isn't that the whole point of the Bible, is there to teach people? The New Testament is Middle Earthers to teach other people to be homosexuals, and then the original ones teach people fucking to be pedophiles. That pedophilia is great, and racism, the race is the greatest. So the only real introduction in the second one is that's for the other people, as they tell you. It's for the Gentiles, and that's why they rape the men, because it's for then people have been invaded and shit. Now, so you take this personality and ignore Einstein, who believes in flying invisible reindeer, as NORAD tells you they work with. You take that person who's still a pedophile in this day and age, still promoting, still legalizing. He's still the only people on the planet to legalize it, still making sure it's legalized. It's the same genetic code as 6,000 years ago, telling you to go outside and touch grass. And the first book they wrote, the only purpose of writing it was to legalize pedophilia. There's nothing else, obviously the racial supremacy, but outside of that, the thing they had to add into it was pedophilia. Fucking, so you take that, their first book, Elon Musk's first book he wrote, his family wrote 6,000 years ago. One of the only 3 talking points there were. Everything else is filler, like any fictional novel. And then you fast forward today, where what Donald Trump and Elon Musk are working with this guy Jeffrey Epstein. So why does the child rapist working with Jeffrey Epstein, why are they filling their media with bots talking about touching grass? It's a lot more than just rape. You'll be lucky if all they ever do is have sex with you. People crying about that have never experienced anything in this fucking world and shit. I can tell you that. That's just a quick thing. It's over and gone. Now, your entire life, if that's being taken away from you, your blood is being sucked out of you slowly like a savory milkshake. Now that's something else, and that's why they do what they do. They understand the value of the male prostitute services, and then they take it and they turn it into where it's a legal thing to steal those services. That's part of this shit. That's what's going to happen. That's what happened when they stole my fucking shit. They devalued my services to nothing. And that's what they do all the time. So the people are obsessed with that. They're obsessed with devaluing things so they can suck the value out of it for pennies on the dollar and shit. And how do you rape a child for free? If a child's inside on the internet, or any person's inside on the internet, how are they going to? They're going to have to pay people to come sell you services. They sell you, but they're going to have to pay a pastor, missionaries to come to your house and ask to come in. They're going to have to find a way to get you out of there. And what's the cheapest way? Just having a bot on the internet telling you, go outside and touch grass, go outside and touch grass. Go outside and touch grass. We're not living in Candyland. This isn't Candyland. Earth has never been fucking Candyland. And nowhere in the world's history has it been. And there's nothing candy about it. There's nothing except for the candy they're going to give you on Easter to help your children remember how great they are and forget that they're bombing the Middle East right now and shit. And that they're pedophiles. And Jeffrey Epstein, the Easter Bunny and shit, fucking, they brought that candy, that savory Candyland. See, everything about Candyland is not candy. It's the whole purpose of inventing flying bird gods and flying reindeer, invisible glow in the dark, and giant bunnies. It's so Elon Musk and Donald Trump and Epstein write books telling you to do that shit because they are working thousands of years to get their foot in the door because they seen there's a kid inside your house that looks cute. That's what it's about. You don't invent bullshit like that for any other purpose. It's exactly what the book is for. It's exactly what the hospitals across Saint Child Rapist does and shit. It's exactly what their people do and shit. Keep everyone stupid as they can so no one can ever talk about what they do. They threaten to torture you if you talk about what they're doing. If you even oppose it, if you don't like it, you're gonna torture. If you don't like going outside and touching grass so Epstein can touch her ass, Satan's gonna torture you and shit. Right? Might as well add that to the 2,248th Bible. So might as well add that. I might be highly underestimating the documents that have been written here. Fucking. AI slop galore and shit. That's what it's about. That's what these people are about. That's what my family's teaching me what pedophiles are, where they're acting like pedophiles and they're part of a pedophile cult. And they're the ones telling me to go out and touch grass, and I really think that was for other purposes. I don't even want to assume what they might have been doing. Hopefully I was just watching TV without doing anything else while watching it, but I don't really care. I just know that there's bullshit and there's some sort of lie there, but that lie is very insignificant compared to the rest of their lifestyle, so it's of no importance. But so obviously parents tell their kids to get the fuck out of the house because they don't want you around. So if a person in your house tells you to go touch grass, it means they want you out of the fucking house. They don't give a shit if a pedophile picks you up and shit. They just want you out of the fucking house. Now, there's other shit happening on this planet. That's happening. Unfortunately, that seems to be all this Earth trash is that stuff happening. You know, that's all it's written in history. It's just Italian invaders killing off and raping everyone and shit. That's the world history, right? Fucking the UK did that, and then the Egyptians did that, and then the Germans did that. Everyone except for the Chinese did that. Unless those are the people who started that shit in Egypt. Fucking, but which is weird. They never have a bad story really to tell. They just have a whole bunch of hot wind, which makes you go support it. That's a very common thing with them, is to tell you to go join something else because it's the better thing by telling you don't go do it. Like that's why you're on the internet and you got crypto, right? Because they told you don't do it. Fucking. But the touch grass thing, all I know is a fact is last time I remember touching grass they staged a little event where they had one of their crackheads act like a homeless person. And when there were Zeus-looking crackheads, fucking. And then another person came up, and then my shit. Next thing I know, I'm going home with nothing and shit, fucking, and this is these people and shit. I traveled across the fucking nation. I get to see them fucking wherever I go. The Zeus crackhead, got the big bug eye fucking Rothschild eyes. There's a crackhead at the dumpster talking to me about my personal life over there on the West Coast and shit. And it's like, I don't know you, but it's obviously you're an evil fucking template here. Whichever genetic code you have is fucking a disease, because you're talking to me about my personal life here. And then that version of that Joe before that looked like that, and he was definitely into some shit. So you have that repeat fucking pattern and shit. And they were asking me too. They were like, "What do you think God looks like?" And then all of a sudden, I was like, Zeus. And then they, so now, more often, I think I've seen like 6 versions of this person or some shit. Fucking at least 3 of that direct one. But that's weird. The one was the Joe, and then that Joe was only slightly different. Fucking looking dark hair. So it's still just the same Rothschild look, fucking. It's kind of a different look. The rat and the Rothschild fucking does seem to be 2 different templates there. The rat's like the transsexual fucking Howard Stern thing, and then the Rothschild is like, got like just the bug eyes. But I do notice that those 2 are highly involved, and then so of course they own the media, right? You got the rat fucking Trump and the rat fucking Musk owning the fucking media, telling you to go out and touch grass and shit. And what did the Rothschild write the Bible for? Well, apparently the only words ever spoken in there were very few. There's pedophilia, invisible people, and we're the master race. Seem to be the only topics spoken of in there that have never been written in any of these other fancy movies and radio shows and books and shit. So it's the trademark, you would know you're dealing with that if anyone brought up either of those 3 topics. Am I right? I'm right on that, aren't I? So if you want to fucking say I'm wrong on fucking that. Well, if I say the word Hebrew, what the fuck am I talking about? Am I talking about Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles? No. You know what the fuck I'm talking about? The master race, the fucking Nazis. Fucking, they talk about, if I say circumcision, the only thing that's ever legalized pedophilia in the world. What the fuck am I talking about? Am I talking about the Smurfs or a Mickey Mouse? No. No, I'm talking about the Rothschilds. I'm talking about Elon Musk and his Bible. And then if I talk about what we got, the master race, the pedophilia, and invisible people. And to talk about the invisible people, what am I talking about? Am I talking about Casper the ghost? Or am I talking about Buddha? Or the 6-armed elephant god? Or the flying bird god? Which one is it? Casper the ghost? Or the other ones? There you go. There's the only thing in there. Now, any other word, bread, what do you think of when I say bread? You don't even think of that, do you? What do you think of when I say eat flesh and drink blood? Well, there's a lot of horror movies nowadays, but I would think that 1,000 years ago, you would be thinking of our Lord and Savior, Julius Caesar. Fucking from Rome, where the Roman Catholic Bible was written. Fucking. So there you go. Very easy to see. Very easy to see the links the genetic code. A mosquito is doing the same thing today it did 6 million years ago. It's not, it can tell you, maybe it's going to send you an instant message and say, come outside and touch grass, because it's getting all scared that it's going to die off if it can't suck your blood and shit. Oh, very accurate fucking. I always turn to mosquito because it is like, they got the nickname parasite for a fucking reason. Definitely, because what does a parasite need you to go outside and touch grass for? So can see a mosquito needs you to go outside and touch grass, because if you're inside, it's not going to be able to suck your fucking blood. A tick needs you to go outside and touch grass, because if you're inside, it's not going to be able to suck your fucking blood. And why don't I go outside? Because the parasite, the last time I remember touching grass, the parasite was there fucking causing me problems. I haven't seen the parasite bring back my fucking ID yet. I haven't seen the parasite bring me back my fucking ID. Where the fuck's my ID? Where the fuck's my ID, huh? I'm supposed to go out. I'm supposed to suck their dick. Dude, just forget that they stole my fucking driver's license. I wasted my fucking time and money again. Just forget that. No, the parasites out there need some dick to suck. Need someone to suck its dick. I mean, they're disgusting people. They are feet washers. So the sicker you realize, if you've experienced the world, the sicker people are, the more submissive they are. There's people out there who control most of the men I know, and they sure act like some weak, powerless people. But my dad sure I bet my dad sure didn't look like he felt powerful and strong when he was spending the rest of his life paying for this person's life to exist in their fancy lifestyle. He sure didn't look like it. He was in a good position. He was definitely a strong man, but he didn't look like a strong, he did, but he didn't. You could tell. It's like, oh shit. You tell by his actions too. There's some weak individual with no power or influence fucking had massive control over this person's life. Even to the point that they could hit him and him not fucking rack their ass and shit. But anyway, so yeah, fuck grass. Burn the grass. Fuck trees. Fuck all that shit. That's hippie shit. Fucking, that's dirt. That's literally dirt. Grass grows from dirt. So, like, that's one step away from literal dirt. That's an insult, right? People used to say, you're dirty. You smell, you're dirty. Go take a shower. You call poor people dirt because they're dirt poor, it means absolutely nothing, no value to it at all. And grass, literally, is just like dirt's right here, and this is grass. Like, real size. It's just 1 inch away from it. So someone's wanting you to bend over and touch that fucking grass. And in my experience, what happens is you get a lot of people forcing your way into your life. Like this clown setting this shit up. There's no way all these recent interactions haven't been set up by some sort of fucking low IQ. There's some sort of clowns on a network. Fucking might be low IQ, but they're networked and shit. They're wired in and shit. Fucking appearing out of nowhere. So I'm like, how the fuck does that bum appear fucking digging in the trash can on the West Coast and talking to me about my personal life and shit? Same fucking trash they had fucking work to fucking rob me out here and shit. Fucking. That's why they want you to go outside with their dumb bullshit. That's why they don't allow you to fucking control what you see on the internet, because they need to force their language into your life. They force their fucking missionaries into your nation and shit. They force them into your fucking. That is half the people you got to deal with, because the other half is just people dressed up as fucking poor people so they can get away with what they're doing and not have to be held accountable for what the fuck they've been up to and shit. And touch grass, man. That is fucking loser shit. Fucking what the fuck? Obviously, we know now what type of trash needs people outside touching grass and shit. I experienced it since I was a kid. Bunch of lazy bitches who don't do anything. Fucking who need you to leave probably so they can watch TV and shit. While they're telling you not to do it because they need you to go to work for them and shit. Fucking. That's why not to go outside and touch grass, though, because that trash is out there, and that trash is set up, and they're causing problems and shit. And until they're gone, no one should go outside. Fucking, they'll dry up and blow away if no one ever talks to them again and shit. They won't be able to bait some female into talking to them and shit, and then women might be able to reverse it. That's what Cleopatra supposedly did, right? Fucking, anyways, fuck grass. Fuck grass. And fuck people trying to get you to touch it, too. Like, just fuck them. People shouldn't be telling you what the fuck to do. It's Donald Trumpism. They're infected with that mental disease called Trumpism. And they're trying to tell you what the fuck to do and shit. Trump's over there. He's taking it to the fullest extent these grass touchers would if they could, and if they feel the need to. They will invade your fucking nation and force you to come outside and touch grass. And all those people in those buildings are outside touching grass now, aren't they? Because there ain't no more buildings. Now they're outside touching grass. That's not... It doesn't end there. Taking away the building and blowing them up and shit, blowing up their infrastructure. Now they're out in the streets and they can send in whatever the fuck these things are, robots, shapeshifters, fucking. They can send those people in to touch those people that they just blew up the building they're in, and they had to leave the building and shit. Fucking. It's not, people aren't just randomly throwing a bomb for no reason and being like, ooh, it was very expensive. It's probably like fucking $5 million each maneuver and shit. There's a lot more than just throwing a bomb at someone fucking set into motion there and shit. They want to affect the people. They want to take over the people. They've already done this in this nation, and then it's Babylon, so it's just everyone trying to take over everyone, but their people are definitely in control. And their people are outside here. They can't do the bomb maneuvers here and shit. They're not trying to level their own backyard, so they resort to the old door-to-door method. And the door-to-door method was kind of made illegal. Like 40 years ago, people started saying had to invent signs, no solicitors and shit. As if that's not common sense. You don't need to go to someone's house and try to sell them something and shit. If someone wanted to buy something from you, they'd come looking for your product and you set the fucking storefront up and shit. It's not even profitable to fucking go door to door unless it's a product no one fucking wants and shit. Like these utility people keep coming back. Obviously they talk to me about shit too, so they're part of the Touch Grass network. Just like the other people going to door are the original Touch the Grass so I can fuck your ass network. So that's what's going on. And these losers, they don't like the truth, so you gotta avoid them and get away from them, and then what's gonna happen? They're gonna have to tell you to touch grass in order to get you to come back around to convince you that you need them around or want them around or just kidnap you and shit. I don't get that much in my life, but it's probably a possible thing. I've heard from females every now and then that happens to them. Oh yeah, I've been kidnapped by the system. You know, the citizens of America have banded together to kidnap me a few times, but it's never been a one-on-one thing. Fucking, I've gotten that, obviously. So, and that shows you how many people are involved in this. If you can have a whole fucking large city just casually fucking kidnap and drug people and shit. So, that's why they're not in the Middle East anymore. That's why they had to bring the Bible out here to the Native Americans, because they were there to kidnap people and tell them to touch grass so they could fuck their ass. And that's why they're all dead, because most of those people had quality. And I think they said no and they got killed for it. So, that's the reality, though. You're not in candy fucking land. I mean, you are, like I said, you are. You just had the Easter Bunny come deliver precious gifts of the true word of the pedophile to the children with the candy. But that's the reality of what Candyland is the pedophile's got to write a Bible and create a whole bunch of bullshit in order to fucking be able to make it look like a casual thing when they give you kid candy and bait them into the fucking pedophile cult and shit. Sick ass fucking planet, but it is what it is. These people are these people. They've been doing these things, and I've had the joy of studying their fucking actions and shit. And this is what just had. Did it not just happen? Did the Easter pedophile bunny just not deliver a whole bunch of candy to kids in the name of a pedophile cult? And the pedophile people are fucking out here accosting people and fucking bombing fucking nations who won't let them in and shit. I kind of think there's something else going on there. Why would they bomb what I think might be their superiors? Definitely their ancestors, but probably, it sounds like superior people if they don't rape boys and they only mutilate and rape their girls at birth. Fucking, that's definitely superior. That's like, you know, the difference between a bitch getting fucked in their ass and the bitch fucking the bitch in the ass is that one's getting fucked and the other's doing the fucking. So, real easy to see there. Women get fucked and boys aren't supposed to. And then it does the cuck programming thing their people need to do. Touching grass, definitely involved in that. Yeah, kids aren't outside touching grass. If I'm not outside touching grass, they can't cause me the problems they've caused me when I went outside and shit. Fucking simple as that. It sounds like some really fucking obsessive parasites who love raping kids and love raping any men, love raping anything they can find, dogs, animals. And, yeah, that's the way I see it. That's what's happened in my life. And that's why I'm not going to go out and touch grass. You can have whatever reason you want to go outside. You can go outside and learn all about them. And if you pay attention, or you can go do something and distract yourself from what's going on. And maybe it won't happen to you. Maybe you'll be too busy to notice what's happening around you. But for me, I don't waste my time with that shit. And I get to analyze the events that happen when I go out there. And those events have told me since I was a child, do not go outside. Do not touch grass. Because There's something in the grass. There's a snake in the grass. And that should be hugely reaffirmed since 2020. There's snakes in the buildings, there's snakes in the grass, there's snakes in the cars, there's snakes in the streets. That's nothing, it should be very obvious, but I've been dealing with, the group since 2020, so to me it's real obvious, like, oh, what happened last time I went outside like 4 years ago? Oh yeah, well, we better not go outside again. And then they come out with this touch the grass propaganda shit. And then, oddly, in my life, I'm already set up to learn fuck grass. We're burning down fields of grass as a kid and shit. It almost seems like it's supposed to be a lesson there and shit, what to do to grass besides what to touch grass with if we're gonna touch it and shit. 'Cause to me, that was, fun. We were mowing the lawn and shit. So, anyways, touch grass, probably not. I don't want to do that. I don't like grass. I don't like earth. But the worst thing is the snakes out there in the grass can't feed if there's no one in the grass to feed off of. It's just like this fucking, this licensing, what am I going to do, go buy my license again? So the snakes, so if I go outside in the grass and stop my car too long, fucking they can take it again and shit. I'm not pressured about going outside to touch the fucking stupid grass and shit. That shit's gotta be lower IQ than a rock. Fucking have one of those elderly caretaker people go out there and touch the fucking grass for me and shit, and give it some love and whatever, man. We're not dealing with this shit anymore. I learned this a long time ago, and I definitely learned it in the past 4 years, that outside is where the enemy lays in the grass awaiting, and inside is where you get shit done and do things and have a life of your own. Outside, where your life becomes the actor or alien or NPC, whatever the fuck it is, poses a low IQ crackhead working with more of them and the government to fucking cause problems and shit. Outside, there's a higher chance of the Bible people fucking trying to get you to donate children to them and shit. So, yeah, and they seem to be the same people. They sure look like the same people every time they come around me. So I'm having a hard time there. Not being like, oh, I'm too stupid. I can't see the link. I'm stupid. I think the link here is pretty easy to see. Go outside and touch grass. Because people wrote 6,000 years ago, it's legal for them to touch your ass. And they can't get you to telling you to touch the grass in their media. Because their old media, where they told you it's legal for them to touch your ass, isn't as effective when people don't go outside and touch the grass. Seems like basic common sense. I have to deal with this shit for a long time. And I don't let other people force hot air and if, ands, or buts that counter the mathematical probability of events that have occurred versus the probability of what century that might not happen anymore. I don't have those problems. I don't have a female breathing down my neck telling me to fucking turn off my brain and wash her feet and shit. I don't have a child. Imagine some of these people said in my life the child was the fucking puppeteer and shit. If I'm seeing it correctly, that the robots have a tier 1 robot puppeteering them for like local wireless communication. You know, like the one might be receiving the far range band fucking network, and that one might be controlling the other locally. I don't know how that's happening, but it sure appears something like that. Like even I've had one by me, just as other people I've been around had one by. So I don't know for sure there, but the appearing out of nowhere shit is I don't think I do that. I seem to have to move to go to somewhere, so I've never woke up and been somewhere else and shit. But fuck grass. Grass is made for burning. God invented fire for a reason. The creator of the game invented fire, and he invented grass so it dries out and gets dry, and a farmer can mow his field. People used to have to cut their fields with scythes, but they didn't do that. They burnt their fucking fields down and shit. So, if you've ever been on a farm, you understand that's not anti-leftist agenda shit. It's impossible to cut your fucking farm grass with a scythe. You'll never get it done. And so what you do is you spend a day making the fucking pass through it and setting the fire, the flammable napalm in a pass, so you burn the fucking field, and it's called a controlled burn. There's a word for it. It's a controlled burn, and that's a great thing to do with grass if you ever have the chance to experience it. I guarantee you, if there's any snakes hiding in the grass, they will be gone after that happens. And it's fun and it's exciting, but I would do it. I'd go outside and touch grass in this neighborhood if that's why we were doing it, because I wouldn't be, these other people would be running from the fire, right? They don't seem, people playing these fucking games don't seem like the type of people who would feel safe in huge fire fucking pits as the fire engulfs everything around you, and you know, like 110 fucking degrees in there and shit. And didn't have long hair back then, or I'd be the one on fire. Anyway, so yeah, touch grass with fire. Touch grass with fire. Wait till it gets big, though. There's no point in mowing the grass if it's just like this big, right? Yeah, wait till it gets big, and then you create your controlled burn. Other than that, you're going to have some real issues stemming from setting a forest fire and shit. But touch grass with fire. Touch grass with fire. Always follow that. Touch grass with fire. Touch grass. Go outside, touch grass. And then be like, with fire? And they'd be like, what do you mean? They'd be like, you said touch grass. And you're like, yeah, go touch it. It's like, with fire? And they're like, no. They might be scared that you're going to burn out one of their friends and shit. One of their snake friends hiding in the grass out there. That's the way I see it. It's the way I feel these days. I've set the boundaries and traveled and experienced the characters that pop up out of nowhere. So I understand that those characters couldn't pop up if I hadn't gone and done that, which is probably a fucking mistake. Yeah, there's a lot of forced events to make 2020 happen. Wouldn't you say that a lot of effort was put into the events you've seen in 2020? And I experienced a whole lot of shit on top of that. So a lot of shit in 2020. And it all involved going outside and touching grass. Every step of the way, I get kidnapped and drugged because I'm going outside and touching grass. And then 2020 events happen, Corona happens, and then I go outside and I'm touching grass. And a whole bunch of other shit happens during that year around me. And then, so you're missing out the part where strangers come up and talk to you about your personal life, and a whole bunch of other things like that happen, identifying that these are some other beings and shit. And the only way they can do the things is if I was outside touching grass and shit. They kind of did the original. If I hadn't spent 2016 to 2020 touching grass, we wouldn't have got to the early events for me in 2020, which were caused by me touching fucking grass and shit. But then it allowed them to Corona shit in my life interjecting, allowed me to see what happens in the grass outside. Very limited world. A lot of people weren't outside in 2020, so the grass was might have been mostly snakes out there fucking. But well, there you go. Well, we experienced that. Fuck grass. I know again there's a pattern here over my life of seems to be I've got people recently in my texts, strangers I don't even know, fucking talking to me about I must do something, and it's like, but see, that's why you don't go touch grass. You got total strangers fucking telling you you must do something, you have to do something, and it's like, well, no, I have to avoid this, I have to stop this, I have to put an end to this, and then I can begin to decide what to do for myself. But until we put an end to that, there's nothing. It's all ending this, and then we'll think about something else. Maybe, if we want to. We don't have to. We won't have someone telling us we have to be their slave and touch grass and touch and have sex with them and all this shit and date them and be manipulated into their bullshit and the fucking little games they play and shit. So the grass, no. You ever see people over the age of 40? They don't go outside. They don't have friends. Why do you think that is? Because they probably experience some of the shit I do on a smaller scale, even if they don't understand what's going on. Fucking, for some reason, no one I knew over the age of 30, 40 had any friends, any communication. They had people they talked to who were friends who would babysit their children. And I was in no way convinced that the proportion of time spent babysitting the children versus the proportion of time being friends were at all equal. So I know a person who was my lover, but I was also a babysitter for them, and I never was convinced that this person was my lover. So the proportion of time spent with me versus the proportion of time spent babysitting someone's children, I've been able to see that since a kid. All these old people I know don't go outside, and there must be a reason for that. There must be something telling them not to go do it, and shouldn't. Of course, old people are telling their kids to go outside because they don't want their kids around them. So you're going to experience that from the people around you. But people on the internet, there's probably a lot of bots and the negatives far outweigh the benefits. I can't remember the last time, really. There was like a concert. Does that even count? Like, I have to drug myself so fucking heavily to even get to that point where I can ignore it for like 3 minutes of a song and shit. I don't think that counts. Fucking is doing something right. That's kind of like almost a job at this point. That's why I don't do it anymore. Fucking weird shit happened too. I fucking many times. The motherfucker fucking drives in the road and picks me up at a concert after I'm walking home from a concert and shit. Each time like that shit happened. Probably every time before I wasn't noticing. But yeah, it's like, no. So I thought I'd get away with it that time, right? That was technically, you know, I was walking home. It was going to be like a 2-hour walk from the concert and shit. I just figured I'd walk home and stuff instead of taking an Uber because it was only like 11 or 12. I wasn't tired. And then I was like, well, you know, nothing's going to happen here, so let's just not take an Uber and save $10 and maybe go check out the BMX fucking trail on the way home too. And then someone stopped and picked me up and shit. And I was like, I wasn't expecting that one to happen. But I don't consider that me going out to touch grass because I went out to support a band and shit. And you know, I wasn't supposed to be outside. The plan wasn't to walk home and shit. Fucking. Anyway, so yeah, touching grass, so great, right? So great. I can't wait to go outside and touch some grass. No, I actually avoid the grass because I like fucking puke when I think about going out there because of the snakes in the fucking grass and shit. Still don't have my license. I don't know how many years that's been and shit. But I suppose that'd be my first step to fucking get a vehicle. And so I went and got it a while back. And now I don't have it. So, see, that was a waste of life, going to touch grass for that. Fucking. And it all seems set up some bullshit. Touch grass. See, you hear I keep saying words related to, there seems to be some sort of obsession. It's not just about rape. Again, a male prostitute is paid for his time. A woman prostitute is paid for sex. So the two people have a different commodity they're offering as their greatest treasure. And so, yeah, you can see where touching grass for certain people, especially boys, could become like used to accost people and slut them out. And that's how I feel about what's been happening. That's why we're retired from touching the grass, because just touching the grass wasn't really promoting much of anything of value, and it was allowing the valueless to siphon what value they could from something else. Such a waste, just talking. Like, wow. Talking about shit, fucking who knows if anyone even fucking gets the message and shit, but it's not I know for a fact, my parents were telling me the pedophile is right there. We know, we seen the pedophile lives right there. They were telling me about that. That's why they didn't want me to go too far away from the house, because other people were like right beside our house. And they didn't want us to go too far down the street and shit. Fucking. Because there was that, they knew that person was in the grass and shit. That person was on their porch, one step away from the grass. But those fuckers really are, lots of those fuckers are out there. People warning you about other people sometimes are the ones trying to get the most from you. I know several incidences where we spent a lot of time bashing other people, only to learn that this is likely a way to raise our own value in the eyes of someone that we wanted something from. There's only a few tactics you can use in situations like this, but of course there's something else going on around this planet too, so you got to factor that into the grass touching shit. If you haven't seen that, you might not have really figured out just how bad touching grass can be. You think like, oh, my neighbors are at work all day, so it's safe outside during the day or something like that. And you might not be hip to how come your Rothschild-looking neighbor is always out there, the one causing problems and causing problems to the highest degree they can. Your Rothschild landlord, fucking doing dumb shit. Fucking when you're the cleanest person in the fucking house and they're using you as as a scapegoat and shit. So your rat-looking family can blame you for shit. Fucking, and they do the Rothschild does what it does. Actually, they were Rat-childs themselves. The other one outside was like Rothschild. You see, once you see all these patterns, for me, I can't unsee them and shit, because it's the same thing on repeat here. You know, you got at least two of the homeless crackheads, people acting that way, you know, knowing personal shit about you, setting you up to rob you of your shit when you go outside. Fucking, why would I go outside? See, it's there's this other personality where the man's value is his time and his life, his blood, and that's why male prostitutes get paid to hang out with women, because they want a man who doesn't fucking do whatever it is some people do, to take and can dress and take out to a dinner and shit. And these people seem to understand that part of it. And yeah, I'd rather give my time to thinking about the texture on the wall, to be honest. We could really, why don't we have flat walls? Why do we got texture? Do we need texture? It looks kind of tacky, There's a lot of important things to do without grass getting in the way of it and shit, right? And so much you can do without grass getting in the way, or snakes in the grass getting in the way. Without snakes in the grass, you could do a whole hell of a lot on this planet if you were wanting to. They seem to be experienced with not wanting people to do shit. Again, if you've seen them, then you would understand legitimately they're going to be outside and not inside. And while they might be running the Twitter or the internet, that it's still two different worlds. You can not listen to them. You can use software sometimes to block some of their mindless, low IQ jibber jabber. Not really. You can see. See, that's another thing too. They're people. You can watch them on their internet. They don't allow you to block shit. You have to have the right access to figure this out. They don't allow you to block anything they say or any sort of. They don't even allow you to thumb down stuff because that's who they are. You know, they're the Prince of Peace. They're the people of peace and hope. So everything's great out in the grass, isn't it? Everything, every time they approach a gigolo and don't pay him for his time and slut him out, everything is great, right? So, yeah, probably not. Fucking, too bad more men don't realize their value and shit. Fucking, maybe there'd be an input to that, but I think there's just so many. I mean, it's spread to all four corners of the globe. They've killed off everyone on the planet, so it's just keeping up with it. The whole obsession, though, that whole talking is the value and shit. Time, blood is the value. You can see they're obsessed with that. The blood of Jesus. They want to bathe in the blood of Jesus and eat the blood of Jesus. Drink the blood of Jesus. You see, they understand the value of blood, and they obviously understand the value of time. And it's networked there very, very well and shit. Fucking, and time seems to be a total waste. But it's not a waste if they can siphon it and, you know, get you to have some babies to have sex with, so they can have some sex or something. That part there, they can put other people's times to use. Fucking. Anyway, so fuck grass. These people are, what I can tell from their personalities, it's just people on top of what they're going to do. There's people who like need you to talk to them 24/7. That's why there are gigolos, because that's why there are therapists, because there are people who want that so bad that they will pay for it and shit. And now giving away, you know, community pussy for free is a little bit different when you're on the man's side and shit of it. But they understand that, and they use that to their advantage. Like the time they set me up with their friend, with their loser family member, trying to kill me. They understood that taking my time away there, I'm pretty sure by the efforts here, it was more than just trying to infiltrate with one of their family members and shit. Pretty sure it was a time thing. It was a time-consuming thing to waste my time. In fact, that led me to never going outside again. They had to boot up some tricks and games towards 2016. For a while, they were trying to keep me inside for like 10, 15 years and shit. They started with that. So you see, it's just, they're schizo fucking retarded pedophiles fucking who seem to be some sort of aliens or robots. I don't really give a shit what it is. Somehow have the mental capacity to breathe and walk and network together to do the shit they do. That's the only thing I know. I don't care how it's done. I don't give a shit. I only want to put an end to it. And But they do that. They do those things, right? They take the time, and they can't take your life from you. You have to let the vampire in. But if you go outside, the vampire can already be out there. And they definitely are. I'm not saying be scared, unless you've experienced enough and you see that you have a reason to be. Most people probably aren't saying anything about you. I've never heard anyone say much about you, so I doubt they get targeted for rape more than a few times a year type shit, or a day. Obviously, if you go to work, you probably don't notice when something's the same over and over how inhuman and repetitive that communication would be and shit. That's harder to see if you do the same thing for 40 years. It looks legit when someone you've known for 40 years does what you do, rather than you meet a new person every day and those people magically show up fucking with magical traits or some shit like that. Magical conversations about shit they don't know. It's a lot easier to see if you haven't just isolated yourself to like 5 jobs over 80 years type shit. Fucking, one. But most people go to 2 schools. It's probably a lot harder to see, because the way to see some of this is being able to see that different unknown things are kind of like clones of the previous before. It had come off with a continuing dialogue. If a same person continues the same dialogue from the day before, then that makes sense. Now, if you meet a new person every day for a year and they're continuing off the dialogue, the second person is going to look very, like, ultra, you're not even going to think they're suspicious. You're going to realize they're guilty. So, they're being stuck in that 24/7 clone life doesn't allow you to see that fucking. I wouldn't think you could see it, but I didn't really notice it at any of the study. I noticed it more from the switching, like going to different cities and the same people following me to different cities and shit. And then that's where you realize that it doesn't matter what city you're in, the grass is where the snakes are hiding.